Hello, hello, hello. I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to the channel for another F1 Manager 22 live stream. Tonight we're picking up with our HAAS team. It's the first time in a week we've been with HAAS, and it is the Mexican Grand Prix, just in time for the real-life Mexican Grand Prix this weekend. So, a quick recap of where we are. Currently sitting third in the Constructors' Championship. Very comfortably third at the moment. We're ahead of Mercedes by an okay margin. We're a long way off Red Bull and Ferrari. In terms of the drivers, Oscar Piastri currently sitting fifth in the drivers, Mick in seventh. It's quite ironic. Mick has got a lot more wins this season than Oscar, but consistency has been key for Oscar. He's more consistently got himself into the points. Mick has capitalised on incidents and safety cars to kind of get himself to where he is. He is also out of contract at the end of the season. We have been trying to renegotiate with him. He's a bit grumpy with us at the moment. He's not liking the offers that we're putting forward. I am now strongly considering signing somebody else next season. I'm going to give him one more go, and well, maybe one more. I might give him a couple more goes, but we'll see. Mix time might be up. We'll have to wait and see. In terms of our reserve driver Logan, he's doing a decent job at the moment, getting himself improved. As you can see, we've been working on his smoothness to get him up to a reasonable level. He's up to 61, and now we're starting to work on cornering pace, so that he kind of can match Oscar's pace. Oscar is very, very quick in the corners. His braking's very good as well. We do need to continue working on Oscar's smoothness rating. It's a little low at the moment. Ideally, we would like to have a few more upgrades to our facilities. I mean, you can see the team hub's going through its final upgrade. The race simulator is now maxed out, so we're getting good XP gains for our drivers. We are working on the level 3 upgrade for the design center. Finally, that'll be important if we do decide to continue this career next season. And operationally, you know, the important things in terms of finances, the helipad is maxed for our sponsor payouts, and the tour center is maxed for its weekly income. We've got very good levels on the memorabilia room, the hospitality area, the boardroom. These will all help us attract a better class of driver at the end of the season, if we decide we do want to go ahead and swap Mick for someone else. So let's go ahead and set our performance targets for this race. So the incentive is to get one driver into Q2. That'll be easy enough to do. Qualifying position. Do I think Oscar is going to make it into the top 10? I'm trying to remember how we qualified in Japan. Take another quick look at the car analysis. See where we are on the grid. So we're pretty fast, very good in the high speed, not so good in the low and the medium speed. We'll be very fast in the middle section of the Grand Prix. Might struggle a little bit in a couple of the other sectors. Okay, so with that knowledge, let's go. Two cars in the top 12, one car into Q3. Race targets, the incentive's the fastest lap. The guarantee, we're going to go for 2 in the top 12. And then the quali streak, we just need one car in the 14th. That'll pay us $1 million at the end of the race. The finish position streak, 2 in the top 10. Oh, we have been going for the top 10. Okay, so let's increase that to top 10 then. 2 in the top 10 for 5 races. We're 2 races in, and that's a nice little payout at the end of the season. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Let's see, Anthony, Farah, Jeremy, good to see you guys. Mr. Water. Red Bull got away pretty unscathed. Yeah, I was just reading it actually before I came online. The breakdown of the cost cap. Not good. I don't think. I think the penalty should have been a bit more vigorous. I mean, a $7 million fine is a drop in the ocean for a team like Red Bull, especially considering that that's not going to come out of their budget at all in any way. You know, that's nothing. A 10% loss in CFD and aero testing is a bit more of an impact, but when you have a car that's comfortably, you know, the best in the field, how much of an impact is that really going to have?
It's going to be the roar of the engines and the cheers of the crowd. Formula One is back in the very heart of Mexico City at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. This is an exhilarating circuit on the Formula One calendar. We'll be sure to see plenty of battles and overtaking this weekend, especially with the help of not 1, not 2, but 3 DRS zones. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
So yeah, just to continue what I was saying about the cost cap, I do think that the penalty was a bit lenient, not necessarily in the sense that I'm not a fan of Red Bull and therefore they should be absolutely hammered, but I think it's a case of this was supposed to be the first real test of the regulations and how well they hold up, and I don't think the deterrent was big enough. And I think we might see future instances of overspending from teams up and down the grid now. Going forward, I don't think it was a big enough deterrent to say to other teams, you know, if you break the cost cap, you're going to get hammered for it. I think there'll be quite a few teams that'll be working out where they can potentially overspend. And hopefully just get a slap on the wrist. So yeah, there's that now. I think a bit of a risk that we might see more than one team, you know, break the rules next season. And if the rules aren't enough of a deterrent to prevent that, there's something very wrong. Update in practice, Leclerc's just gone into the wall, red flag. Yeah, I haven't had the chance to check out free practice for this weekend's Grand Prix yet. I'll do that after the stream. How you doing, Hull? Good to see you. Ruben, good to see you. Oh wow, look at all these gearboxes we've gone through. Let's go with that one. Driving options, drop that down. Onto Oscar's car. Actually, I'm going to give Logan a run. Put in a very weak engine. Stick with that gearbox, that's fine. Up the run plan. Right, time to set these cars up. So we'll start with mixed car, which Logan's going to be driving in the first session. So we're going to go with 6.5 on the front, 13 on the rear, a 2.8 roll bar, quite a bit of camber, and very little toe. Let's see how that car works itself out. And for the second car, we're going to go slightly different. We're going to go a little bit higher on the front wing, a little bit lower on the rear wing, a bit more severe on the roll bar. I'll go for a 1.9. The camber will go a little bit higher again, and we'll go quite a bit higher on the toe, and see how those two differing setups shake themselves out. Off we go into FP1.
Radio check. Radio check.
Anthony says, I hope the fine is included in the accounts for next season. It won't be. Any FIA fines are not included in cost cap limitations. Christian Horner infuriates you. I've never been a fan of Christian Horner. When the team wasn't doing well, he just exuded whiny little bitch energy, and whenever the team does well, he exudes smug git energy. I've never liked Christian Horner. I think that's one of the reasons I've disliked Red Bull over the years is mainly because of Christian Horner. That guy I find him so disingenuous. So they're paying a fine for overspending, which means they are spending more. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we're going to go back to that issue of consistency again. I mean, you look at some of the situations in recent years. I mean, we can go back and once again we can bring up Spygate, McLaren, a huge $100 million fine. I mean, yeah, it was a pretty serious breach of the rules, but it was you know, it was a $100 million fine and expulsion from that year's Constructors' Championship, which was pretty hefty. You look at some of the other things. Seb, I forget which race it was, when he was, I think, at Ferrari, had it might even have been at Aston, I'm not sure, but he finished the race with only 0.3 litres of fuel left in his car, and not the full 1 litre that was needed for the fuel sample, so he was disqualified instantly, you know, and that was it, just gone.
Yeah.
Brazil last year, Lewis Hamilton's DRS slot gap was, what was it, 0.2 millimeters outside of tolerance, disqualified from the whole Grand Prix. you know, well, not the whole Grand Prix, but was basically just thrown out of qualifying over a tiny little, you know, breach like that. You know, there's been times when there's been absolutely zero tolerance, bang, hammer the offender, and then there've been times when there's been very little action. I mean, again, to mention Ferrari, there's the time when they had very naughty engines, and although everyone knew they were cheating, it couldn't quite be proved properly, and so they effectively got away with a slap on the wrist. Although obviously their performance did suffer significantly. There needs to be a level of consistency when handing out punishments, and there just isn't at the moment. And that is what infuriates me. So that's 10 million over the cost cap. Well, not quite. I mean, as I said, any fines that are levied by the FIA for any reason whatsoever are not counted in cost cap calculations. So, they haven't breached the regulations by 10 million. They didn't even breach them by 2 million. It was like 1.8 million, but had they filed their tax return in a slightly different way, it would effectively have only been about 400,000 over the cost cap. Now, that 400,000 is still 400,000 over the cost cap, you know. And even though it might not sound like a lot, that's still a significant amount of money, you know, in F1 terms. You know, I mean, they will argue as well that the breach did not come from their development pot, that it didn't affect the development of the car, but it's still a breach. You know, it still needs to be treated as such. You know, a breach is a breach. It doesn't matter where that breach comes from. I just think, you know, it should have been a stricter punishment, not because it's Red Bull, but because it needed to be a better deterrent to stop other teams from going, ooh, that was a little lenient. I think it might be worth us potentially, you know, gaining a lot of performance for a very little punishment, you know. '97, Schumacher got disqualified from the season after taking JV out. Yeah, at when he tried to spear off Jacques Villeneuve at Jerez, I remember that. 2 race directors alternating doesn't help. Well, it's not just that. I mean, it's the stewards as well. The stewards are on a rotating panel. There needs to be strong consistency throughout. And when it comes to the letter of the law, I mean, if you can apply the letter of the law, then, you know, it should be straightforward. But different stewards will apply punishments in different ways depending on how they interpret that, and that is where you get that lack of consistency.
just had a spin.
If Mercedes had done it, they would have been kicked out and heavily punished. I don't think so, no. I do wonder if the fact that Mercedes have been so dominant in recent years is one of the reasons why. I mean, you could say it's a conspiracy theory kind of idea, but I have wondered if the reason that Red Bull got away with, and Max in particular, got away with, you know, overly aggressive moves, etc., without punishment last year, was because... Oh, hang on, we've got a red flag. Well, that's not ideal. We've got 12 minutes left. That might be the end of the session.
Let's see what happened there.
Yeah, that was the end of the session. We didn't even get the replay. Let's see, we've got a few penalties. Gasly, Alonso, Tsunoda, Ocon, Albon. A couple of those are probably collision worthy, but again, the game doesn't tell us what they are. That's so annoying. Yeah, going back to my point, I think they were so desperate for there to be a title going down to the wire that they overlooked instances that should have been punished more favourably towards Max and Red Bull last season than they did towards Lewis and Mercedes, because it created that drama of a title fight going right down to the wire, which is something that there hasn't really been in F1 for a while. And then we've got a new Constructors' Championship, a champion this year, and the punishment isn't quite as severe as people were expecting. And it does make me wonder if it's just they're trying to I don't know, not promote Red Bull to the top, but they're worried. It makes me wonder, again, it's a little conspiracy theory kind of thinking, but if they really hammer Red Bull, does that mean a return to Mercedes dominance going forward? Which is something, you know, a dominant team over a few years isn't necessarily a bad thing, but a dominant team over many years can just completely stifle, you know, interest. And I can't help but wonder if that has been a little part of their thinking as they've dished out all these punishments, etc. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking that quite heavily, but you know, I can't help but wonder. Right, we've got some partial feedback because of the way the session ended. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, but we'll try that. We'll up Mick to a full run. I'm going to go for 45 laps of fuel. It's probably too many, but let's drop it down to 42. Oscar, again, we've got a little bit of partial feedback, but not much. I know a tweak is needed on the toe. I'm just going to try that one little thing. That one little step of toe, see what that does. We're going to go with 20 lap run. Put him on the hards. Change his driving option, and into FP2 we go. Verstappen got away with so many dangerous moves against Lewis last season. Look at Brazil and Saudi Arabia in particular. Yeah, well, I mean, you could argue against Lewis in some potential situations. But Lewis is definitely less aggressive and forceful in overtakes than Max. And Max, I think, stepped over the line too many times last season. You know, for it, you know, to have got away with not getting any kind of significant punishment. But I don't really want to relitigate the whole 2021 season because, you know, it's done. It's closed. It's in the record books. It's not going to get expunged. It is what it is. You know, 2022. Oh,
I'm sorry about the spin.
damn it, Mick.
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's take a closer look. Now just focus on the HAAS. And this...
Well, at least he just kept it out the wall.
This is where they spun out.
I do mean just. That was so close. Just double check he didn't actually do any damage. No, he didn't. One thing I will close up this sort of discussion with one final thing, which I saw was Verstappen was asked how he would feel over allegations that Red Bull had effectively cheated for the titles last year and this year, and how he would feel. And he said, effectively, in so many words, don't give a shit. You know, which is definitely something I got the feeling about last year. I didn't realise he would have that same feeling this year, but yeah, he's like, if people get butt hurt, I don't care. You know, I'm going to have my championships. I don't care if people question their legitimacy. I'm still going to be the world champion. That was essentially his answer.
That's the balance.
Which, you know, again, could be interpreted in different ways, but it doesn't paint a great picture, I think. Farrah counting my big words. Right, so we got Oscar's car all the way up to 100% nice and quickly. That was good. Let's send him back out again.
We can take a look now. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
Oh, come on, Mick.
Look at that. They've spun their car.
You see brake lockups?
The team are devastated.
I can put those
They'll
down
be
to
questioning just
the car.
what happened out there.
I can put that down to the brake cooling not being good enough. Spins, that's down to the driver. Nothing against Verstappen, it's not his fault the sport isn't police property, he deserved titles for his driving. Yeah, I mean, you can't deny his talent. He has amazing racing car control. He can make the car dance like no one else, really. And he's destroyed every teammate he's been up against. He has that rare gift of being able to feel the car talk to him at a level that is incredibly rare. I mean, Lewis has that level of car control. Alonso, I would argue, has that level of car control. Vettel has never had that level of car control. He's been quick, but he's never had that raw ability. I'm trying to think who else in more recent years. I mean, you could argue Michael Schumacher had that level of car control. Senna definitely had that level of car control. He's up there with a very elite group of drivers who can just feel and feel the car and have it talk to them in a way that that very, very few people ever can. I do think he was overly aggressive last season, and you could argue that he should not have won the title because of his driving last season. But yeah, he is. There's no denying his ability. He is a phenomenal driver, and he's going to win many more titles across his career, assuming he doesn't retire early, which there have been hints and rumours at. I think he absolutely could beat Hamilton's number of championships if Hamilton retires within the next couple of seasons. And if Max decides he wants to stick around in racing that long. He has the ability to do it. He has the undying loyalty of his team that will just give him whatever he needs. It's just whether he has the hunger to stay in the sport that long.
After a day of free practice yesterday, we wrap up with the third and final session.
Right, we actually went slightly backwards on Mick's car. So we need to make some more adjustments again. Gonna go there. Let's see how we do with that change. Push that to there. Let's give that a go. Let's change to the mediums. We want another long run because Mick kept spinning, and instead of getting 60-something% track knowledge, he only got 38. As for Oscar's been faultless so far this weekend. We'll just get him running enough to Max's track knowledge and get him the full 30 points for the session.
Ready to check.
Ready to check.
Right, let's have a productive session, please, Mick. We've got a crash. It's not Mick, that's good. And it's not Oscar, because Oscar's being told about the crash.
Yellow head.
Oh, it's
Let's have a
Bottas.
look. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. There's the crash.
Dropped it into the barrier. So how's FP1 going on? I know you got red flagged. Has it restarted again yet? I mean, I suppose you could argue that our season race here has actually mirrored reality by having a red flag in FP1 as well. Oh, it's a lockup.
Here's
That's a big
the replay.
lockup.
Now just focus on the HAAS.
Yellow ahead, yellow ahead.
Okay, copy.
Tell Mick there's yellow ahead. He's causing the yellow. 93%. Still not going the right way with this car. But, you know, he's got to keep running. Need that track knowledge. Who is this Tintin that you guys keep talking about? Oh, there we go, that's Oscar's session done. 100 across the board. Schumacher spinning on that corner
Let's take
again.
a look at the replay. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
Kept it out the wall
like
again,
a
but
very nasty spin.
Mick is not having a good weekend, and he's kind of making my mind up for me. A lot of driver errors this weekend from Mick. And he's now killed any chance he had of getting a good track knowledge as well. I looked up Humankind last night as well. Someone was asking me if I would be looking at that game, and I wasn't sure what it was. I do actually remember seeing the announcement trailer for it now. It's like a 4X builder, isn't it? So like Civilization. I don't know. I might do. I did quite like Civ 5 on the PC. I remember playing Civ 3 when I was younger. I had Civ Rev on the PS4, was it? No, PS3. And it felt a little shallow, having played, you know, the PC versions of Civ. And I am worried that the Humankind on console will also be shallow compared to the PC version. And whenever you get a game that is, you know, like that, it always ends up killing my interest in the game, because it's like, well, it could have been so much better. It could have been that, but it ended up being this, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I'll wait and see how it reviews. I know it wasn't great when it first launched on PC, and that it has improved quite a bit over the last year or two, but yeah, I'll wait, I think, on that one. Okay, 93% was actually an improvement for Mick. I didn't realise. Still not quite there on car setup. Let's give that a go. Right, let's put some proper parts in the car. This is a fast track, so we want the new engine that we put in last time out. Let's go with the better gearbox. The ERS module's fine. As for Oscar, we want the good engine. We want the good ERS module. And the gearbox is fine. Just need to remove the flying lap. There we go, the cool down lap. Off we go for quali. Good evening, Computer Nostalgia. Not seen you here before. Okay, so we're going to do just one run towards the end of the session. We'll try and get out ahead of the rest of the queue. We've got the pace to easily get through Q1. Or we should have the pace to easily get through Q1. I'll be worried if we don't. Because we've kind of put a lot of money on the line with our sponsors, saying that we will. Okay, so let's send out Mick first. How you doing, Dirty Trucker? Alright, let's see how we do. I have been toying with the idea of maybe taking a penalty for Oscar and buying him another new engine, just so he finishes the season really strongly.
I think there's been a lock-up.
Okay, both drivers are almost done with their lap. Let's see. What level of pace has Mick got?
Was that a lock-up on the track?
12th. Is that all? And Oscar goes 5th. Science is going to improve again, surely. So, yeah, Mick is borderline. Okay, there's a clear gulf between. Actually, where is Joe? Did Joe get? No, Joe did not get held up. So Joe's just really off the pace. He must be using an older engine. We have potentially got new engines out there. Ocon, has he got a new engine? Where is Alonso? Alonso's there with 17.6. He might have a new engine as well. Yuki's looking pretty fast for him. Gasly is up there as well. Engine's at 88%. It's going to start wearing out in about 3% time, I think. 3-4% time. Mick's engine is almost brand new. I mean, we put a brand new engine in last time out, so... Yeah, choices, decisions. Let's go out and do a scrub run. Get a banker lap in. And then we'll put on a new set of tyres and see where we can qualify. Okay, 3 turns between the drivers. That's a little bit more like it. Yuki very fast compared to Sonoda. Sorry, compared to Piastri. That does make me wonder. I think the AlphaTauris are running brand new engines this weekend. It's going to be a 5-place penalty, I think, for Oscar, because it's not his first engine change, so we might go ahead and just drop a brand new engine in. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I need to bolt on the new tyres, don't I? Alright, out we go for our final crack at getting Mick a little higher up the order. Piastri's going to be safe, I'm pretty sure of that, but Mick is definitely about to get eliminated. It's just a question of where he gets eliminated. Okay, improvements for both drivers in the first sector. Mick needs to find 3.5 tenths, which he's not going to find. He's not even up in the middle sector. Oscar's timing is broken. It's not actually giving us a sector time for him in the middle. Mick improves by, what, 0.03 of a second. Oscar does improve up a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a new engine in Oscar's car. I'm not going to run it this weekend. I'm going to save it for the last 2 races. So I'm just going to run it here in quali. But after this weekend, if everyone in front of us is taking new engines, it is going to hurt us. To have an engine that's, you know, on the decline against brand new engines in the next 2 races. It's going to hurt Oscar's chances of getting points. So we're going to go ahead and give him a brand new engine for this qualification session, and then we'll swap it back out again for the race, and then we'll have a 99% engine for the last 2 races of the season, Brazil and Sao Paulo, and not Sao Paulo, that is Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. So I'm going to go for another scrub run, but that's the only run I'm going to do, because I'm going to try, actually no, don't know if the soft tyres will, don't think the soft tyres will last long enough in the race for a double soft run, maybe.
Check. Radio check.
We'll do 35 laps. Maybe. Oh, look how fast Gasly is. With that brand new engine of his. That's mighty fast. Right. We are ready for our final attempt. And we're going to watch on board. We'll watch the broadcast on this one. Let's just get through the warm-up lap. So how far up the order can we go? We are currently very close to Hamilton, but we did the first run on scrubs. This is brand new tyres. We should theoretically be able to jump up a couple of places here. I'd like to see us up to at least 6th place. I think Leclerc might be looking to improve on this lap. He's a bit off the pace. It's very normal. Look how fast Russell is and Gasly compared to Verstappen. Alright, checkered flag is out. Leclerc improves up to 3rd. Verstappen improves his lap time to a 1:16.9. Sainz improves and gets back up to 3rd. Russell does not improve his time. Nor does Perez. Gasly is staying 5th. He's already crossed the line. Alonso hasn't really improved. We're 0.8 of a second off now. Can we get a little bit of extra that we need? We're up to 7th. We got an extra 0.3, 2.5 tenths out of the car. It's not bad, but yeah, Gasly mighty fast this weekend. I mean, he's a very fast driver, and that brand new engine is certainly serving him well. Right, there we go. Quali is done. P7. We're obviously going to take a 5-place penalty, as so are some of these other drivers. So we're not going to finish. We're not going to start in the top 10, but we're not going to be too far off it.
Welcome to race day, and before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
HAAS proved quite resourceful during qualifying. That puts them in a very good position to make the most of this race start. The work Red Bull did during qualifying was nothing short of spectacular. Now let's see if they can repeat that for today's race. And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
And there are sure to be some dizzying strategies used here today, here in the Mexican Heights. The question is, though, who's going to be the one to climb to the top?
Okay, practice time is done. Quali is done. It's time for the race. The one stop is probably going to be the way to go. It's definitely going to be the way I go with Mick. I might go a little bit more aggressive with Oscar. What about if I start on softs as well? So that'll be a set of scrubs at the start. Let me have a look at that strategy, and then let me delete that. Delete that. And add new strategy, and let's look at a medium soft, where it's new tyres all round, and see how that does. That gives me a lot of leeway to push the tyres. Especially at the start. Okay, so we're looking at 4 seconds faster that way. Yeah. Again, the delta's broken, so there's no way that that's a 4 minute faster lap time. The thing with the true stop strategy here, though, is that it is a bit risky because of the sheer amount of DRS. It can be difficult to break away from cars. You get these long queues, where trains can form on this circuit. That will make things tricky. So I think what I'll do is I'll start him on the same one-stop strategy as Mick, but be prepared to switch him. I am wary that Oscar's tyre wear is not as good. So I might be, yeah, because his tyre wear is not so good, that might be the better option. We'll have the option to switch him onto a one-stop, depending on how the race is going. I'm going to put some extra fuel in the car. For Oscar, so he can push harder for longer. I want both of my drivers to go a little bit aggressive off the line. Try and make up a couple of positions. And we need to take the engine out and put in the 88 engine. There we go. And we are ready to go.
It's a bit of a cloudy day for the race, but the atmosphere as ever is electric. Mick Schumacher there. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. There's the other HAAS. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. The race start is mere seconds away. This is it. Here we go with the Mexican Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay, so Oscar dropped down to 13th. I didn't actually check before the race to see where he was going to start. 13th isn't too bad. Mick got promoted up to 10th, thanks to other penalties. That's pretty good. Yuki's at the back. Gasly's in 11th. Okay. Russell takes the lead.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Okay, good job, that's one.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Okay, Mick gets himself up to 9th. Oscar's already up to 11th.
HAAS with an overtake.
You're doing a good job.
Alright, I'm going to turn off Oscar's battery while he's right behind Mick. There's no point getting him to try and overtake his teammate who's also trying to overtake. Oh, we've had a spin. Bottas spins. We've got a bit of work to do now to catch back up.
Out.
Got to push hard now to try and get back onto Hamilton. Got a yellow flag in sector 1. Is that another yellow flag? It is. Someone else is on. Is that Hamilton?
Straight on.
Hamilton. We're chasing down Hamilton, and Hamilton throws himself off.
Copy.
So now we've got to push even harder to get onto the back of Norris. Come on, Mick. Push, push, push. We're breaking away from Ricardo, that's good. How you doing, SITV? You are just in time for the race, yeah.
DRS enabled.
Alright, Mick is currently fastest on the track. He's almost out of battery.
Mode push.
We're not going to get DRS activating till the back half of the circuit. So we've still got time to get our drivers into DRS range. Almost there. He's made it. I do need Ralph to try it, not Ralph, Mick to start
Save fuel.
recharging a little bit now.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
I've got to be really careful with how I get him to pull over and let Oscar through. I've got to do it in such a way that it's not going to cripple his ability to stay with the guys in front. Actually, I might not need to. Oscar might just force his way through.
Mode push.
He's just outside of range. That's not what I wanted.
Push hard now.
Oscar's almost in range. I've got to push Oscar. I can't afford to drop off the back of that group in
Mode
front.
push.
Come on, come on, come on. Stay with them, stay with them, stay with them. Damn it. Okay. Alright, so recovery time. It's
No overtake.
Copy.
Charge on.
Copy.
right, because I've lost the queue, now I need to let Mick catch back up so that these two can train each other. Almost in range. Come on, Mick. Hurry up. Hurry up and get in, so I've still got a chance of being able to push Oscar onto the back of that train again. I don't think he made it. No, he didn't. Oh, God damn it. And the train's gone. Well, that's okay. We can still salvage the race. It does mean that we are probably going to have to switch Oscar onto a one-stop now. The only way the two-stop would have worked was if I'd have been able to stay with those guys at the front. Oh, yellow flag. Safety car. Oh, beautiful.
Sounds like there's been contact.
Ah, we missed the replay. Trying to get everything set up. Albon is out. Bottas has got a penalty. So it looks to me like Bottas just locked up or spun out and took out. I'm guessing the fact that Albon's out, it was a lockup.
Can we use a lift off a bit?
Okay, this is going to let me get everything charged back up a little bit. The car probably won't be out for too long. Maybe just this lap, maybe one more lap afterwards. But it is going to get the field closed back up, so we are going to get back onto that train in front of us. And crucially, we've got Oscar in front this time. We might get another safety car later, so switching to the one stop does make some sense at this point. Joe, the only driver on soft tyres, and he's been going backwards. Bottas. No, he's having a nightmare race so far. So, not going well for Alfa Romeo here. Stark contrast to how they're doing in Season 2 on our Williams playthrough.
Overtake is available if you need it.
Yeah.
I get the feeling the car's coming in this lap.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap.
Oh, must be psychic. Right. Oscar is fully charged. That is awesome.
Charge off.
Copy.
Mick, not so much, but
The safety car has left the front of the pack.
Copy.
You can push.
Copy.
what can we do? Into turn one.
Out race.
Copy.
God, if Oscar locks up now, he takes out half the field. So it's all locked up.
And that's the lockup. Let's
It's
take a
Latifi.
closer look. Now let's look. We're watching Nicholas Latifi. Oh, and there's the lockup.
Oh, that was okay. He locked up before he hit the corner.
The team are really
You see, there need to be more lockups like that in the
Let's hope
game
it
rather than
doesn't set
lockups
them
that send you
back too
spearing off the track. Because that's a more realistic lockup than we normally see. Just snatching the brake a little bit on the approach to the corner, but still getting through the corner without too much of an issue. We need to see more of that and less of the, oh, he's gone straight into a barrier.
Keep it up.
Okay, Oscar up ahead of Norris. That's good, good, good. Onto the back of Perez now.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Gasly behind Mick. We know Gasly's going to be brutally fast this race. Gonna try and get a little bit more battery into Mick's car while he's tucked up behind Norris.
Charge on.
Copy.
Just gotta be careful I don't drop away from Norris and get caught by Gasly. Alright, there we go.
Mod race.
Copy.
DRS enabled.
Gonna go full deploy.
Mode push.
Copy.
And I'm gonna try and get
And remember to use overtake.
Mick ahead of Norris.
Yeah, copy.
Need to make sure Oscar stays on the back of these guys in front of us. If I can even jump Perez, that'd be nice. Oh, trying to go around the outside. That's brave.
Good job so far.
Damn it, Mick just got the overtake. I was kind of hoping he
HAAS
wouldn't get
with
the
an
overtake
overtake.
until this point of the track. Now Norris is going to have DRS and just go whooshing straight past. There he goes.
Oh,
We're currently P8.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
As long as Norris doesn't get within a second of Oscar, which I think he's going to do. We can try and retake Norris with DRS, but yeah, I think that opportunity's gone. I think we just reached the DRS zone there. Yes, we did. Good, good, good. Tell you, if we could drop Gasly here, that would be awesome. Not going to happen, though. SITV says, I've seen in the news that Red Bull were found guilty. Why did they get a 10% research reduction? They breached the cost cap regulations. That was the penalty that they agreed to accept. They overspent by about 1.8 mil, and they also had a procedural breach as well.
Seems to have been a lot.
It sounds like a lot. If they had been, if they'd filed their taxes a little bit differently, then that overspend would actually only have been about 430,000, not 1.8 mil. But yeah, they got a $7 million fine, which will not come out of next year's cost cap. That's just a straight fine, and a 10% reduction in next year's testing as their punishment for the breach. The breaches.
And lift off.
yeah, copy.
Charge on, please.
Yeah.
See if we can get a little bit more battery back into Oscar's car. Have another crack at finding our way past Perez. Disappointing that all the drivers sound the same. Schumacher sounds like a certain Mr. Gasly. I would say, no, he sounds more like Verstappen than he does Gasly. But yeah, as Mr. Water says, they are genuine, actual voices of the drivers. The audio that you hear when they complain and stuff, it's taken from actual race broadcasts. You know, when team radio's been used.
Charge off.
Copy.
We've lost too much ground. Now we need Norris to overtake us, so that we can then re-overtake
Charge
Norris.
Copy.
See if I can induce him into an overtake here. He's not quite close enough. Joe's soft tyres have gone off the boil. He's now into the pits. Bottas has got himself past to Williams.
It's not over for us.
Well, the one William. And has got him past Stroll as well now. So he's chasing down Vettel.
More charge.
Understood.
Same with the engineers as well. Anytime you hear an engineer talking, that is genuine engineer audio.
Charge on.
Copy.
There's Gasly trying to force his way through, which he does. It's okay. I'm okay with that.
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
Right now, getting the battery levels back up is a little bit more important. The deltas are constantly braking. There we go. Gasly now having a look at the back of Oscar. Ricardo having a look at Mick.
So overtake is available if you need it.
And there we go. That's what I've been waiting for. We're almost there with Ralph, with Mick as well. I keep calling him Ralph today for some reason. Tyre-wise, we are definitely struggling against the AI. That's because we pushed. And also because Piastri is a devourer of tyres. Even with his smoothness work that we've put into him. Oh, no, 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 don't make the overtake here. Thank you.
Charge on.
Copy.
I want the DRS. Alright, there we go. Drivers are finally in a position where they can race unrestricted again. Do the regens have a voice? No, they do not.
Copy.
Nor do the real life younger drivers who haven't been heard on team radio as well. So you get very limited audio from Oscar. It's mainly copy and radio check, and I think that's about all Oscar says. Same for Teo. Maybe pit lane is another one you might hear. You'll hear Logan say pit lane when he enters the pits. But because they've had so limited running in F1 as the odd FP1 session, there's very little audio to pull, and it doesn't look as though they've pulled any FP2 audio. F2 audio. So yeah, not a large library of audio. What I really do hope is that as the franchise continues, obviously we're going to get more and more audio, but they don't just have us say we can only have X amount of audio clips, so we can start dropping in new audio for newer drivers, but we have to take old audio out for other drivers. I'd like them to just have an expanding library. Rather than a set number of clips that just changes who gets to say what.
Good job.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Russell has fought his way back up to the top at the head of the queue. He's having a strong race. Hamilton's got himself back up to 14th after that trip into the grass on turn 1 at the start of the race. Bottas now up to 16th. As we ride on board with Mick. And Oscar's put himself into the lead in the worst possible place.
Okay, nice work.
Right before a double DRS. That's just...
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
I think Norris got back past him before the DRS zone. No, he didn't. Piastri doesn't have DRS. Some pits already. Perez, Sainz, Alonso, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Vettel, all diving into the pits. That's a little early for a one-stop. Maybe the two-stop is back on for Oscar. Hey there, Matthew. Any more Spinoders? Not yet. We've had a little bit of drama. We had Bottas taking out Albon, which brought out a safety car. Hamilton locked up at turn 1. On the second lap and dropped way down the order. But I think that's it for drama so far. Latifi had a lock-up as well. Oscar's starting to struggle. I'm wondering if it's his tyres.
Just keep concentrating.
Yeah, we are starting to struggle on tyres with Oscar compared to the others.
That's a position gained for Alpha Tauri.
Let's go back to the two-stop. We'll keep Mick on the 1. Latifi's just Latifi. Yeah. I don't understand where this whole Go Tifi thing has come from. I don't know if it's in response to him effectively handing the World Championship to Max last season with his late crash. I don't know if that's where Go Tifi came out, just because there's a lot of anti-Hamilton sentiments out there. People wanting to see a new World Champion. Or if it's something else, but I do remember I do remember when he got when he finally out-qualified George Russell for the first time. I've seen this. Nobody out-qualifies me for, like 38 times in a row and gets away with it. Something like that. Which made me chuckle. Alright, so we're going to go aggressive with Oscar now.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy.
He's dropped out of DRS range, we need to get him back in. Oh, there goes Mick. We do not need Mick getting in the way. Should be able to DRS overtake Mick through here.
Mode push.
Copy.
No, Mick is going to block. Let's get Mick to try and get dragged along a little bit further back up the field. Need to keep him on the back of Norris and Gasly.
Charge on, please.
Copy.
Charge off.
Copy.
Box.
Copy, Bob.
Charge on.
Copy.
Okay. Let's get a little bit more battery back into Schumacher's car now that he is in the train and has the DRS again.
More charge, more please.
Copy.
Okay, and into the pits we go.
Mid-entry.
Okay, understood. Limiter on, please.
Verstappen has pitted this lap as well. That actually helps us. I mean, we'll be a little bit behind him, but we'll have the chance to latch onto the back of Verstappen, potentially. Maybe not. The one good thing about being at the end of the pit lane is you can get up to speed pretty quickly.
And McLaren with a
Verstappen's
great
gone hard, so he's
overtake.
probably going to the end. Yeah, I had Russell and Norris in a McLaren file. That was when I first noticed the way that they do the numbering system when a driver transfers, is that if it's an existing F1 driver, they just take that driver's number off the car he's gone and put it straight on in the same style font and everything. So I had the blue 63 that Russell uses, you know, Mercedes style, slapped on the side of
Okay, good job, that's one.
or slapped onto the McLaren instead of the big chunky bright blue or baby blue that they use. Okay, Mick is currently in P2 and he is isolated, which isn't great. I might pull him in a lap early. I'm going to pull him in a lap early.
Is that a
No,
lockup?
lock up for Oscar.
Let's see what happened there. Now just focus on the HAAS.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes,
See,
that's
that's the lockups that we want to see more of. More realistic lockups.
That was a bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their overall.
I better actually tell him to box, hadn't I? Just get him to push for the pits and not actually pit. Okay, Russell's in the pits, Mick is in the pits. Once again, Oscar overtaking at the worst possible place on the track.
HAAS with an overtake.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Gotta let Oscar through. Can't screw up his two-stop strategy.
We're currently P8.
Alpha Tauri gained a place.
Lost out at the same time to Gasly as well, but that's
Charge
okay.
off.
Copy.
Mega job, mates.
So Piastri's quick, and so is Gasly. Potentially, now that we've got this
HAAS
little
with an
gap here,
overtake there.
I'm actually going to put Mick into harvest again, just through this
Charge on,
slow
charge on.
section.
Okay.
we can create a gap between those two and this chasing pack that Mick is leading. We can potentially give those two a little bit of breathing room, and they can pull away
Mode race.
from these guys behind. So I need Gasly and Piastri to work together here.
McLaren gain a position.
Okay, what's the gap? It's
Wow.
over a second. Good, good, good.
So let's focus on the race now.
Or is it? Because the deltas are a bit... Yeah, it's only just over a second, because the deltas really don't update often enough on this track for whatever reason.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, so we're going to keep losing the lead in this little fight
for
between
HAAS.
Gasly and Piastri. We're going to keep taking it and losing it, taking it and losing it. We need that. We need these drivers to keep switching positions on each other to stay ahead of the pack behind, because they're going to be doing exactly the same, overtaking each other on these long DRS straights. And that will allow the natural pace advantage of these two to extend the gap, make it a bit more comfortable, and potentially even work towards closing down the front runners a little bit. I am going to get Piastri to push his fuel a bit more. I don't want to burn all of it because I need to save some for when we come out on soft tyres at the end. We have committed to that now because we are on the same compound as our first stint. Maybe I should have gone for hards just so to give me that flexibility of protecting the tyres and staying on a one stop or coming in later for softs and switching. It's a bit late now, unfortunately, but who knows, we could get another safety car in about 5-10 laps time, and if that happens we've got a set of hards to jump on, which will take us to the end and will be better than everyone else's hards. So we're still in a good place. Norris is closing back up again. See if we can at least get past Ricciardo. Watched the YouTube vid earlier pointing out tips for the casual fan wanting to play this game. Two things you picked up. One, how complicated the game is. Two, how much you've learned from these streams. The game looks complicated. It isn't actually that complicated. Oh, got a lock-up. It's a Ferrari. Leclerc's had a lock-up.
Looks like there's been a lock-up. Let's have a look. Watch this. There's Leclerc. And there's the lock-up. It almost got away from them.
Yeah, the game looks complicated, but once you get your head around a couple of things, it really is actually quite simple. It's just that first little bit. Once you get your head onto that first little bit, then everything else just clicks. And it's pretty straightforward. Definitely having knowledge of how Formula One works in real life helps in terms of like watching races and getting a feel for strategy from years of calling bullshit on teams' strategies from your armchair every Sunday. But yeah, I mean it's easier than it looks. But I'm glad that I've been able to impart some wisdom maybe over the series of these streams. How about impart, Farah? Does that count as a big word for you? Again, we're not 1.4 seconds off the back of Ricardo, we're like 0.2. There we go, find the updates. Norris has caught the back of Piastri and Gasly. They haven't swapped enough, so that is kind of broken, but Norris has broken away from Ricardo, or trying to break away from Ricardo. Impart is obviously not fancy enough for Farah. Still only on 5 fancy words.
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
SITV says, learned a lot about F1 watching my streams. Used to love it as a kid, but getting back into it because of the streams. Well, if I'm helping to rekindle your enthusiasm for Formula One, then that's a good thing, I think. Alright, Ricardo is definitely outside of the 1 second between himself and well, actually, is he? Or is it just another broken delta? There is a bit of a gap there. I think he is actually outside of DRS range. Okay, so Mick has a chance to move up a position here. You concur. Hey! You're not allowed to use fancy words yourself. Stop stealing my gimmick.
HAAS with an overtake.
Keep it up.
I think you're going to put £10 on Stroll to win the championship next season.
AlphaTauri gained a place.
Oh, bookies are going to love you. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the dynamic at Aston Martin next season, because Stroll is very much then. Oh, hello. We've got a really awkward lapping of Latifi here. That's just caused some big problems. Everyone's been held up really badly there. Piastri dropped off a load of time to Gasly. Norris dropped off a load of time to Piastri. And we are now in a position to capitalise on that. I'm going to try and push Schumacher past Norris, catch up with Piastri. Latifi to Red Bull, win the World Championship, become the most famous Canadian in the world. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy.
Right, Mick, do not overtake here.
More charge, more charge.
Yeah, copy.
Do not overtake, Mick. Do not overtake. Ah, you tit. Alright, maybe Norris just took the DRS away from himself there.
Wow.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope, he got the DRS. Okay. Damn it.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Switch charge on.
Copy.
Okay, so Mick's just going to have to stay with the McLarens. Oscar needs to get back onto the back of Gasly again.
Mode push.
Copy.
Stay away from Norris. Oh, great, now Mick is dropping off the back of the McLarens.
So you can push a bit more.
Copy.
And rather... oh no, I did get DRS. Okay, thank God for that. Thin ice. Barrow.
Keep that up.
Okay, so we are actually closing down Leclerc. Not by much, but we are gradually starting to close him down. Let's take a look at tyres. His tyres are better in terms of condition, but they are a slower compound. He's doing 122.3s. We did a 121.5 because we had DRS last lap, so if we go on Gasly, he did a 122.3. Yeah, we are lapping similar kind of pace, but because Leclerc's isolated at the moment, he's not in DRS of Perez, it is allowing us to close that gap by doing the leapfrogs.
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
once you get the platinum trophy, it's still addictive to play by the looks of things. Yeah, I've platinumed it twice now. I went ahead and platinumed the PS4 version as well. And then immediately deleted it off the hard drive because there was no point having 2 copies of the same game taking up space on the hard drive. And I'm always going to play the PS5 version over the PS4 just for the superior rendering and load times. It's like I did with Alien Fireteam Elite. I platinumed that on the PS5, then platinumed it on the PS4, and then immediately deleted it off the hard drive from the PS4 version because the PS5 version just runs so much nicer. Alright, Mick's doing okay, sitting in 10th at the moment. He's on his one stop, he's going to the end. Tyres are comparable with Norris and better than Ricciardo, so that's looking good. The only risk is if they go for a late pit stop onto faster compound tyres at the end and then catch and pass. But we're hanging on for a point at the moment, and we've got the opportunity to maybe get an extra couple of points. We might be able to get him up for 8th. So we have managed to drop Alonso briefly. See if we can stay ahead of him. Oscar is in this battle with Gasly, and now that Leclerc has got back into DRS range, he has passed Perez and Sainz.
You're currently P6.
What are the games that I've been playing recently? I haven't. I did. Not really. I mean, I keep picking up games on sales and then never actually playing them. A few months back, I picked up a couple of really cheap little games which I thought would look kind of cool. One of them is a PS4 puzzle game called Expand. It's really kind of beautiful and relaxing, and I played that for the first time a couple of days ago, and that's kind of cool. I've got loads of other games to play as well. I just recently picked up the Dishonored double pack with Prey as well. It was the definitive edition, I think, of Dishonored. I don't know if I got Dishonored 2 as well. I can't remember if that came with it, but I got that and I got Prey, and the whole thing was like 20 quid for 2 or 3 games. And I need to start those at some point, but I've got such a backlog of games that I need to play. I've just started playing Fireteam again after having not really played it much for the last 3 weeks or so. I've been so heavily engrossed in this. I need to go back onto F1 22 at some point. I'm still plodding away with Farm Manager 22, just knocking out the last of the trophies on that, on the scenarios.
Good job.
I mean, that game's okay, but you know, there's a lot of just sitting waiting for stuff to, you know, to go through their motions so you can earn the money to do something else.
A new race position for HAAS.
So it's not really a game that's that exciting for streaming purposes or anything like that, which is why I've not bothered putting it on the channel. There would just be a lot of just sitting there watching the game at ×3 speed, doing nothing at all. But that's about it. You know, I tend to focus on just 1 or 2 games at a time, and I don't tend to play a lot of different games at the same time.
Okay, good job, that's 1.
Okay, we're coming up to lap Stroll, I think.
HAAS with an overtake.
Yep, we're coming up to lap Stroll, the future world champion and most famous Canadian in the history of like ever, apparently. But I'm always on the lookout for new games, you know, that I think I enjoy and that I might enjoy putting on the channel. Obviously, you know, I still need to go back and start playing Construction Sim again. I really need to. Once I play enough to get into it, really get into it, I'll just keep playing that like crazy. But I haven't been able to tear myself away from this. We've got Football Manager coming out soon, and I'll probably end up getting quite engrossed in that as well. That's something I'll probably be putting on the channel. Okay, we managed to break away a little bit from Gasly there, thanks to the awkward lapping of Stroll. Schumacher dropped place.
Wow.
McLaren gain a position.
Oh, we've got a spin. Who spun and where?
This yellow hat.
That'd be Oscar. Oh, it's Latifi
Take a
again.
look now. Now let's look. We're watching Nicholas Latifi.
Oh, that's
They
just,
lose it there.
that's just poor.
Haas with an overtake there.
Okay, we are over halfway through the race. Let's have a little update on where we sit. So tyre-wise, Piastri, his tyres are going to start getting mushy soon. Got another 10, maybe 15 laps on those tyres before we have to swap them. We will start to struggle to stay with Gasly when that happens, when they start getting mushy. Schumacher sitting pretty at the moment. Sitting nice and comfortably here in P9. Can we actually drop Ricciardo here? I don't think so. Not quite. Yeah, so Mick's on for good points. He's on for a solid 8th place here. It's just timing the push at the end. It's going to be important. Let me see if I can get away with dropping his tyre pace down a little bit and still stay with these guys. Try and give us a little bit more grip at the end of the race than the two McLarens. Oscar's pit window opens up in a couple of laps. We are, what, 5 laps away from a pit stop? Might need to start pushing Piastri. Try and sprint away a little bit. I don't know, I might want to just try and extend this stint while I can a little bit. We are still gradually pulling away from Norris. Not by a huge amount, but by enough. We're on for P7, maybe P6 with Oscar. I think P7's more realistic. See how's the engine doing. Down to 86%. It's holding up better than I thought it would. Schumacher meanwhile definitely able to stay with these guys like this. That's good. This will also help maybe build up a little bit of fuel reserve slightly faster as well. So yeah, touch wood, we're going to save a little bit of extra tyre wear, save a little bit of extra fuel, and then we can really push him towards the end. At some point I'm going to have to start recharging his battery as well. I want to get that back up to full. So let's try and focus on getting him recharged while he's in this position of having DRS. We'll have to micromanage this from a few laps. Let's ride with the front wing cam. We haven't done that for a while. Sainz and Perez pitting. Okay, so they are making a final stop. Ricardo pits. Ah, so does that mean Norris is going to pit? We get out ahead of Perez. That changes things. I'm glad I'm charging the battery up now as opposed to waiting another few laps before I did it, because that now gives me the potential opportunity to stay with Perez if I'm really lucky, and Sainz.
Okay, nice work.
They're on faster compounded tyres in better condition, but if Norris pits
Is that a new race
and then we can
position
hang
for
on, even
HAAS?
if it's only for half a dozen laps or so, if we can hang on to the back of the Red Bull and the Ferrari, that'll help negate the fresher tyres that Norris will put on.
It's not over for us.
Alpha Tauri gained a place.
There's the gap, 6.5 seconds. Perez is on us already. So we got the battery charged just in time. Norris is staying out.
That's a position gained for Alpha Tauri.
Okay, this is the optimal lap according to the strategy. I'm going to go one more lap, I think. Actually, looking at the gap, I'm going to go now.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
We're going to go for it now.
Come on, you can do this.
Copy.
Brand new soft tyres.
Box, box.
Copy, Mark.
Okay, here we go. Into the pits.
Entry.
Okay, understood. On.
I would die and go to heaven if ETS2 came to PS5. I've been wanting to play that game for years. Alright, so we're coming out in ninth. We're going to drop behind Sonoda briefly, I think. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'd quite like to have the DRS start the next lap on, but I don't think we're going to get it. We are going to push hard on the next lap for the fastest lap. Let's actually encourage the overtake
On.
from Yuki, so we can try and get that DRS as well.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Copy.
Mick's still doing well, holding on to the back of Norris. Have gained an extra % over Norris on tyres, that's good. Yuki didn't get us. Alright, we'll wait one more lap then. We'll just protect the tyres, the battery, the fuel. We've got a spin.
Yellow ahead.
Here's the replay.
Ooh, Russell has
Now let's
spun.
look at this. Here's George Russell.
Ooh.
They've spun the car. What
Oh,
a disaster.
he's holding up the Ferrari. That makes things interesting. Alright, there we go. Yuki gets through. Just going to make sure, well, I say make sure, we're just going to hope
Just keep concentrating.
that Piastri does not get the overtake. I can
Alpha
actually...
Tauri gained a place.
potentially make sure he doesn't by doing this. Let's wait and see. No, we're good. Okay, right, so here we go. Fastest lap attempt.
Come on, let's close the gap.
Copy.
Mode push.
Copy.
We're going to absolutely
Nice one.
blister away from Sonoda here. Full push with tyres, fuel, ERS and with the DRS
With
as
an
well.
overtake.
Okay, we're purple. We should monster this final section as well. And there we go. We have the fastest lap. A 1:18.4. No one is even close to that. So that's pretty secure. I don't think that's going to get taken. Not unless there's a last minute switch onto softs for one of the front runners. And then it might be at risk. We're still sitting on the back of Norris here, still holding up Perez and Sainz. This is good because this is going to allow Oscar to get onto the back of these guys. Okay, Oscar crosses the line. The gap's down to 5.8 seconds. We are lapping 2 seconds a lap faster. Give or take. It'll be a little bit less than that now that we've turned off the tyres and the battery. And there he is. There's Oscar at the back of the screen there, closing in. Oh, the Ferrari's nicked it.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, and Ferrari just
All right.
into place.
If Norris can hold up Sainz the same way that we've been doing. Just got to be careful Verstappen doesn't try and swoop through now. No, sorry, Perez, not Verstappen. Oh, and Norris is immediately past. Although he will now get DRS on Sainz, so... Oh, wait, Sainz might get it on the Alfa Romeo. We've had a lock-up. Oh, we've had a crash.
There's been a crash. Let's take
It's
a
a
look at the
Spinoda.
replay. Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved.
We've been waiting all race for this.
And there we see the crash.
Not horrific. He'll have some minor front wing damage. He's pitted for new tyres and a new wing. Yeah, Sainz is gone. It's a bit of a shame. But Norris is keeping me in touch, which is allowing me to keep Perez at bay. Oscar gets past the Alfa Romeo of Zhou. I think it's Zhou. Yeah, Sainz is just gone, look. He's already 2.5 seconds clear. There's Oscar. Okay, so what's Sainz doing now that he's got clear air? He's doing 120.1s. Yeah, it's faster than us. Not surprising. Although we got held up because we had to lap someone, so we're a little bit quicker than a 120.7. Let's see what we do on this lap.
We're currently P8.
Okay, Schumacher got overtaken.
Red Bull moved up.
No, we didn't do a very good job of this last time. Can we do a better job here? Yes, there we go. Let's put him back onto normal tyre pace now.
Push hard now.
Understood.
Right,
So
can I
win
get back onto
7.
Perez? It's going to be close.
Haas with an overtake there.
Don't think I did.
Mode push.
Copy.
Nope, I didn't. But oh no, Norris did get the DRS. He's closing back up. But I'm in DRS range now. Sorry to hear you having a rubbish night on the road tonight, trucker. Oh, Schumacher got really badly held up somehow. Ah, that's why. Great.
You can push.
Copy.
So all that tyre saving that we've been doing to get a slight
You're
edge
currently
over
P6.
Norris, we're now going to have to use up to catch back up to him.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Why is it we always overtake Perez? Oscar always overtakes people at the worst possible place on the track. You'd think he'd learn by now. still got a very slight edge on tyres, but it's not much. Oscar's tyres are starting to go off already. Safety of the car now would be glorious, because I would immediately jump in and slap on another set of fresh tyres. Probably for both drivers.
More charge.
Copy.
Save fuel.
Yeah, copy.
Alright, let's see if Perez and Piastri can work together to close down Sainz.
Charge on.
Copy.
Red Bull gained a place.
Okay, well, at least Oscar's not going for any overtaking lunge just here, which is good. Eight laps to go. Another comfortable win by the look of it for Verstappen. Russell's done well to keep pace at the top there. Hamilton just hasn't been able to move up the running. Look, he's still down in 13th. Bottas is 14th and pitting. It's one of those circuits where, because of the DRS, it's so hard to catch back up if you drop out of a train like this. We're looking good for a strong double points finish though. We're looking at 6th and 8th. Who knows, maybe we can even get 5th. Looks like Ricciardo is closing us down again. Yeah, his tyres are in better shape than ours. At least he's not bringing Alonso with him as well. Okay, this is going to make the last few laps a little bit risky.
Motorways.
Copy.
Try and save some tyres again before Norris
Overtakes
before
available if you need
Ricciardo
it.
catches us.
Copy.
Alright.
Charge off.
Copy.
6 laps remaining.
Copy.
Oh wow, Ricciardo is really closing fast. Oh, Mick.
Copy.
He's crashed
Let's
into
see
someone.
what happened there. Now just focus on the
He's
HAAS.
crashed into the wall. God damn it.
And that's an off. And
That's Mick's race
that's going
ruined.
to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see. Oh, and that's a crash.
Suspension damage, front
And
wing
McLaren
damage.
with a great overtake.
There's not enough laps left. Well, maybe there's enough laps to get back in the points. It's going to be really tough. I'm going to lose a ton of time here, limping back to the pits. I think I might just retire the car.
Box is left, box.
See how quickly Alonso catches me. There he is. I'm going to be mighty fast, but I'm going to risk taking the point away from Piastri, the fastest lap.
5 laps remaining.
Copy.
Yeah, I'm just going to retire the car. I would have dropped behind Tsunoda. I would have dropped all the way to 14th, and I wouldn't have had enough time to make up 25 seconds in just a couple of laps. And all I would have done was take the fastest lap away from Piastri and rob him of an extra point. So, yeah, better to just retire him, because Mick wouldn't make it into the top 10 to get that point for fastest lap. Just save the car for the last 2 races.
Laps remaining.
So it's all on Oscar now. 6th place is his for the taking. I don't think we're going to be able to get Sainz and Gasly. But 6th place will be... Is it 6 points for 6th or 8 points for 6th? I think it's 8 points, isn't it? And then an extra point for the fastest lap. Let's have a look, actually, if we can see here. No, 6 points. Yeah, so we're looking at +7 because we're getting the extra point for the fastest lap. You go away for 2 minutes to make crackers and cheese to see Mick is out. What happened? He locked up in turn 1, hit the wall and skidded out, and I decided to retire the car. He did mild damage to the suspension, ruined his tyres, and destroyed his front wing. And he could have carried on, but he would have come out in 14th, 25 seconds off the top 10. While he would have been able to get fastest lap, he wouldn't have been able to get in the top 10 to get the points. He would have just denied Oscar the extra point. So I just decided it was better to just retire the car.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy.
2 laps remaining. Road push.
Copy.
HAAS with an overtake.
Charge on.
Copy.
Just push.
Copy.
Mode push.
Copy.
This is the final lap.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner. Let's have a look. And there it is, the Dutchman, Max Verstappen, has taken first.
They can be really proud of what they've achieved today. A result like that doesn't just fall into your lap.
So Max wins the Grand Prix. Drives through the balls. We hold on for 6th place and the fastest lap. So, not too bad. 7 points gained for Oscar Piastri there. A good result, I think. Russell managed to retake 2nd place. Gasly got Sainz at the end. Fought his way back up to 4th. We knew he was going to be quick with that engine. But we now have a brand new best-in-class engine. Well, say best-in-class, you know, better than the rest of the field engine for the final 2 races for Oscar. Because all these new engines will have taken a bit of wear today. So we'll have a slight, and I do mean slight, engine advantage over some of these guys going into the last 2 races. At Brazil and then Abu Dhabi.
A brilliant performance from the HAAS driver. This is a good result for HAAS, more than enough to satisfy the whole team.
You're completely right, and what a day for all the fans of the team as well.
That's right, and they finished the race weekend in 3rd place in the constructor standings.
Coming up in the next round is the Sao Paulo Grand Prix as we head to Brazil. Join us next time at Interlagos.
Okay, so there we go. 5th place for Oscar. Why 5th place? Oh, I'm looking at the driving standings. 6th place. There we go. Netted us 8 points. It was 8 points for 6th place. So I was looking at when we were in P7 for 7 points. So the extra fastest point for fastest lap means we get 9 points out of the race, getting 7 positions off the line. Mick, unfortunately, wrecking our streak, I think, potentially. In the Drivers' Championship, Mick closes in on Perez, but he's not going to catch him. But we do pull away from Lewis, who had a horrible race again. Russell, with a big jump in points, puts him above Mick Schumacher now. Not so good. In the Constructors, Mercedes closed the gap, thanks to us losing a point or two from Russell, from Mick, and Russell with a strong 2nd place finish. So the gap now just 22 points. All to play for then, in the fight for 3rd place in the championship. No points earned for any of our drivers over the weekend, which is a bit of a surprise. I mean, look how many points we earned with Oscar here in this exceptional race. 2,128 points. That's a lot of points. He's got to be close. In terms of sponsors, we did lose our streak, our finish position streak. That cost us $800,000 in terms of a debt, and we also lost out on a $3 million payout. So Mick's mistake there has cost us nearly $4 million. That is not good. That is really not good. So he still has a negative outlook towards the team, but he is going to be out of contract at the end of the season. We could maybe steal him. We can definitely get Gasly, who will also be out of contract. So it's going to be a very interesting final day of the year to see which of those 2 drivers we can get. I'm going to go for Fernando if I can, because again, the long-term plan is to put Logan in the car alongside Oscar. So if we can get Alonso in car 1 for 2 seasons, and then we can replace him with Logan Sargent after 2 more years as a reserve driver, that's going to make him very tasty. 2 more years of development. That would be very, very good. We get a point for Jorn Becker, who is just absolutely rubbish. Let's just drop it on feedback. Ed Reagan. I don't know if it's Reagan or Regan. I'm going to call it Regan. Ed Regan. Not great. Not an amazing guy. His communication skills are okay, but pit crew management feedback are rubbish. There is a couple of engineers that I'm looking at, as you know. The usual crew is Josh interested? Not at the moment. There is another really good guy to look at for all you guys out there who are looking for a cheap engineer who's young and can develop. There's going to be no audio with this guy because he's an F2 engineer, but he has 80 on his pit crew and 80 on his feedback. His communication's pretty poor, but that doesn't really matter. It's the least important stat. So he is good, and you can get him for about $550,000, which we are going to try and do. I just need to figure out which guy I want to replace. Jorn Becker's feedback is rubbish, but His pit crew's good. Ed Regan is rubbish on both. So we're going to replace Ed Regan. I'm going to give Pedro to Oscar. I'm going to drop him in for 5 seasons. We're going to offer him 550,000. Which is definitely cheaper than we're paying Mr. Regan. We're going to offer him a starting bonus of 25 grand. Okay. Let's up that to 580. Let's give him an extra 5 grand there. Okay, let's go up to 600,000. Go up to 35 grand. And there we go. He's accepted the contract. So, a new, better engineer. Don't let the overall rating of 69 fool you. This guy is a much better engineer than the 77 we've replaced him with. And that's why pit crew management 80, feedback 80. So you'll get feedback faster when setting the car up, which is always important. And, you know, better pit crew management means better pit stop performance. So, yeah, a very, very good, young, cheap signing for anyone out there who's looking for a good, cheap engineer. How's the pit crew doing? They're slowly improving, very slowly. We are 8 days away from the final upgrade on the team hub and the car part test centre. Design centre is not till the end of the season. Let's have a look at boosting our team's attractiveness a little bit, if we can. That's a very expensive upgrade, but it will give us an extra 15% on our team attractiveness. Well, sorry, an extra 5% and an extra 40 points, an extra 10 points. So that could be the difference between signing and not signing. Although, having said that, actually, no, we're not going to get that until next year. There's no point wasting our money on that. That would take 34 days. That would give us a 5% boost to team attractiveness. It's a lot cheaper as well. Let's go with that. In terms of our board confidence, they are still grumbling about that overspend when we bought new engine parts for both our drivers in one big chunk. But everything else, they're very, very happy with. Again, we've already done our targets for the season. We're going to finish way above 6th place. That's not in question. And we've already achieved our long-term objective as well. Not bad, considering where this team started. Let's have a look at some new heads of aeros for next year. We're currently scouting Jared Murphy and Dirk de Beer. 12 days to go on those. So we'll get those after the next race. Let's have a look at our inbox. New ATR period starts today. Okay. We've got a rear wing project finishing in 6 days. And then that'll give us time for one last and then 19 days on the underfloor. So we'll have time for one big project, probably a new front wing. And then we'll have enough time after that to maybe do something a bit smaller. I don't think we'll have time to do another underfloor project, or if we do, it won't be a particularly good one. So we might focus more on upgrading the brakes for next season's car. Really could do with improving the suspension simulator, really. That's definitely going to help us with improving our brakes with a new front wing. What are our car's brakes looking like right now? 17th, yeah, not good. Not good at all. There's no further development on the car for this year. It's all about getting next season's car prepped. So let's skip on. End of season review in 3 weeks. That'll be a 1.5 million bonus. Finances for October are done. Welcoming Pedro Matos to the team. Monthly car development is just showing that we're pretty rubbish in quite a few places, although our speed is good. A low stock of suspensions. We only have 3. Yeah, we better make another one just in case. There we go. The research for the rear wing is done, so now we can start looking at something new. So let's look at a new front wing. How long would that take if we were to put a lot of things into it? We desperately need to improve brake cooling. Let's actually have a look at what the optimized cooling would do. This will hurt our speed. Which will make us slightly slower. Don't think there's any way to change that. We could do that. That would have an impact on our cooling. It would reduce the benefit of the cooling a little bit, but if we could do that, and that way we're not actually losing out too badly. If we were to do that, that would maintain our speed levels as they are. It would improve our medium speed cornering in dirty air and regular. In terms of rank, we would get a boost to all of our cornering abilities, and we would get a 5.5% boost to brake cooling. So I think that's what we're going to look at. If we were to put 4 engineers on that, that wouldn't reach... Oh wait, I'm a design. I don't want design. I want research. So let's see. Yeah, we haven't done a front wing project, so we desperately need to do one. We haven't done a side pod project yet either, or a suspension project. Okay, so we were quite low on research for next year. All we've done so far is a rear wing, a chassis, and the underfloor. That's it. Ooh. Yeah, this could be a difficult car next season. So if we were to go with that, we would gain a little bit from research to negate the reduction in expertise. So the car wouldn't improve dramatically, but it would improve a bit. Brake cooling, now you can see we would lose 5% of our brake cooling, but we would gain 15% nearly with the research itself. So that would be a strong boost. How long would this take? 2 engineers would get that. Okay, so if we go 4 engineers, and we could look at improving the cornering, it would mean a slight reduction in the gains on our brake cooling, but it would help negate that loss of some of these other things. Obviously, increasing these sliders is going to have an increase in the amount of time it would take to get this done. But even with 4 engineers, we could still get that done before the date there. How long until the department is done? 2 days. So we're going to wait until the car part test centre is done. Otherwise, we're not going to get that extra benefit of the upgraded facility. So I've got to go 2 more days before we can start on that project. There we go. So we'll now get a bigger boost to our brake cooling as a result of the upgrade to the facility. So if we again put that's rear wing. I don't want rear wing, I want front wing. So we put the same hours in. Where's my... the box is gone. So we've got 6.9, so I want 4.9 hours. And then this was what, 92, wasn't it? So we want 72. Yeah. There we go. Got that information back. Yeah, it's not giving me the hours box. Look, it's weird. So, brake cooling. Let's go back to the optimized braking, or optimized cooling. And we are getting a bigger attribute boost than we did last time, thanks to the car part test center giving us an additional 2%. We want 4 engineers on that. That's going to finish on the 23rd. Let's go airflow front all the way up. It'll reduce the brake cooling gain a bit, so maybe not go all the way up. But it will give us a bit of a speed boost. Let's go there. Airflow sensitivity, I'm not too worried about that. I'm actually going to drop that down a bit more. And let's go for a little bit extra. There we go. That there is going right to the very last day. So that'll give us a 5% boost to brake cooling, but it will improve other things as well. It's probably too much, actually, thinking about it. Our high-speed cornering's best area, so we need to reduce that down a bit. We want to boost our low speed and medium speed more than the high speed. 52 days. Let's try and get the brake cooling up a bit higher if we can. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. That's going to give us more of an impact on our brake cooling. So let's go ahead and confirm that project. And that leaves us 6 engineers and 2 hours MAU hours and 20 wind tunnel hours to do a side pod project, which will help boost our drag reduction and engine cooling. Right, let's skip on. We're good on car parts. Got a point for Oscar now. Gonna smooth this up to 60. Now we can start focusing on and boosting his cornering and his reactions. 60 is manageable. It's not great, but it's manageable. No point for Logan. Mick is 1 race away from another point. Logan is just, well, yeah, he's practically begging for the next point. We are close. We're 2 weeks away from Resta getting another point. Not going to get it in time. We're too far away, 5 weeks away from Aaron getting another point. That's no good. Bjorn's just had a new upgrade. Pedro is just joined the team, so he's not going to have a point for a while. That's it. We are done for the night. I think next Friday we'll do a double header. What do you think, to finish the season off? Do you want to do a double header, or do you just want to do 1 race a week for the next 2 weeks? What do you guys think? I might throw it up as a poll. If we do a double header, it'll be a long stream, a very long stream. So if we do, we'll start it early. We'll start it at 9 PM next Friday to give us an extra hour and a half. We'll probably have to whiz through some stuff as well. We'll see. But yeah, I'll think about that over the next couple of days, and then we'll make a decision next week as to whether or not we do 2 races next Friday. We will be back on Monday with the next race of our Williams career. We'll be heading to Canada, so I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday for some more F1 Manager 22. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll see you all again very soon.